and welcome to our Gold participants and listeners from around the world. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and MC for Gold Learning. And we're here back again, once again in our Meet the Speaker series. And this time I'm chatting with Joanna Davis. Welcome, Joanna.
Thank you so much.
It's so wonderful to have you here, and you will be presenting for us at Gold, and you have a very important and interesting topic you will be presenting on. You will be presenting on the 3H of hypoxia, hypoglycemia, and hypothermia in a newborn. Very important topic, and we want to jump into that a little bit more in just a minute. But can you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, your professional journey, your background, and what are you up to these days?
Well, I am a certified professional midwife. I've been a midwife since 2006. I am also a preceptor for the North American Registry of Midwives, so I train CPM candidate students. I currently have 6 students working with me. 2 of them are senior students who are finishing up their training. 1 is in phase 3, and 3 are in phase 2. I'm also currently involved in the formation of a nonprofit organization called the Appalachian Birth Co-op, and our mission, as we're working out the mission statement, is to improve access to community-based care for Appalachian families through networking, integrative care processes, and training programs for midwives, doulas, childbirth educators, and family advocates.
How wonderful. I love to hear a little bit more. So how far along are you with that project? And let us know what's going on with that.
Right now, we're just we're just forming our board and working out our mission statement. So we're really in the early infancy stages of forming this nonprofit. We're also working in conjunction with another local nonprofit here in the Mid Ohio Valley, which is around the Ohio River Valley area of Marietta and Parkersburg. It's called Mamaology, and they are a parenting co-op. And so we are working closely together to help meet the needs of the families in the Mid-Ohio Valley, but also in the larger East Central Appalachian region.
How wonderful. I'm so fascinated with that project that you just described to us. It sounds like a wonderful, involvement that you're doing there in this and creating a new nonprofit to increase the access for families, to midwifery care and childbirth education. Tell us a little bit about your region. What is unique about the Appalachian region you are practicing in?
Uh, that's a really large topic. So a lot of people don't really understand that the Appalachian region isn't just Ohio, Tennessee, and Kentucky. The Appalachian region ranges over 13 states, runs from New York all the way down to Alabama. And the needs of the Appalachian families are unique in that the families are relatively insular. So as an American standard, we've become kind of dispersed and spread out from our families, and we don't see that as much in Appalachia. However, the economy in the Appalachian region is pretty dismal, so people are moving away to find better jobs. I really enjoy working with the Appalachian families and moved here specifically because there were no midwives really serving this area in a large capacity. We really don't have that many midwives in West Virginia, in the hospital or in the community-based setting. So my focus is just training midwives in this area and getting community midwives planted in this area to serve the needs of these families.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And I know you're educating students. You mentioned that before you have 6 students, you said, working with you right now?
I have 6 students right now.
Wonderful. And you are a preceptor for NARM. Can you let our out of the country and international listeners know what that is? Give us a little bit of background.
The NARM certification process is an apprenticeship-driven process. So hold on just a second. Pause for just a second. Sorry, I did not want to cough in your ear. So I have students who have been working with me for years and some who've been working with me for a couple of months in active apprenticeships. And so with uh, in the guidelines of their apprenticeships, they attend prenatals, um, uh, births and postpartum visits, and then they participate in the day-to-day running of a midwifery practice and in the education process with our clients. They also do a didactic component that I've built for them that includes a lot of research, and so we really spend a lot of time delving into what evidence-informed practice looks like and building um, handouts and really evidence-informed driven guidelines for practice of midwifery in this area and specific to the needs of the families in this area.
Perfect. That sounds like a really good program, and you're educating and training students, and hopefully you will have more midwives in your area soon, and increase the access to midwifery care in your area. How wonderful! Now I would like to talk about the topic you will be presenting on. Your topic is titled "Understanding the Needs of the Newborn Who Has Experienced a Hypoxic Insult During Labor: The Relationship Between Hypoxia, Hypoglycemia, and Hypothermia." Tell us a little bit about your presentation.
Well, in the process in the last few months of putting together a training module for my students around the needs of the newborn and the immediate postpartum period, I came to understand the dynamic between the baby who's maybe experienced some questionable features in labor or may come out and be slow to transition, and that relationship between how they regulate their temperature and how they metabolize sugar, and what those relationships mean in the bigger picture with regards to helping the babies move forward in their transition safely and effectively. And then I talk a little bit at the end of the presentation about best practices and how to best protect these babies so that we don't have to end up transferring babies into the hospital that maybe just needed a little help in the sugar department or in the thermal department.
Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to learn more. I think it's a very important topic. We all cannot get enough information on these subjects, so important to help our clients and our families in our practice. Now, just before I let you go, what is it that you hope our listeners will take away from your presentation?
Well, I feel like having a clear understanding of the way the newborn regulates their temperature and the way they metabolize sugar in that transition process will help us protect the forward momentum of that transition a little more clearly and safely, and maybe reduce our transfer rate of newborns. That's my hope anyway. That was my drive to make that information accessible to my students.
Thank you so much. I am very much looking forward to your presentation, and thank you so much for sitting down here and chatting with me today, Joanna Davis. It was an absolute pleasure.
You are very welcome.
To our listeners now, understanding the needs of the newborn who has experienced a hypoxic insult during labor, this presentation is part of the Gold Managing Complications During Birth lecture pack. This pack will be available on February 4th. And if you want to learn more about this presentation and the other presentations in this lecture pack, please go to goldlearning.com. Thank you all for participating with us today. Bye-bye for now.